Well, welcome back guys to another episode of What's Been Messed Up Now. So I'm gonna build a drive shaft loop today using some just scrap pieces of metal I've had laying around the garage. And I'll tell you all the weird stuff that's happened. So guys, let's get started with this. So, before we start anything, guys, the giveaway is started. We're not at 1,000 subscribers yet, so you might want to tell your friends so that so we can get to that point faster. The faster we get to that point and slowly keep moving up, the faster I'll do the turbo giveaway. We might be doing a couple turbo giveaways because a couple months we're planning on possibly changing the turbos out on the twin car again to some maybe one step better turbos. So, but besides that, past couple days we've ran into some issues. I heard a noise in the torque converter that's brand new. We weren't sure what it was. We called the company and they wanted us to send it back, but after doing some research, we're hoping it's normal. It's got some chatter to it, but the car seems to be driving fine. So we're gonna keep them in for now. We are supposed to be at the track Wednesday to run. If everything goes good, we're gonna be there, but I gotta get a drive shaft loop in or they won't let me in the burnout box. The other issue is these right here. So these are the single adjustable QA1s I had set up for the Malibu, and something's not right with them. I built the custom bracket to kind of hold them in the factory location. Thought everything would be fine. I set the car on the ground and it's not fine at all. So we were looking at it. I've changed springs in it. We think something's wrong with the shocks or something, but the car is, as soon as I push down the back, it squats to the point that the tire's rubbing the wheel, no matter how high I jack the spring up. So we think something's wrong with the shock. I actually lost half my nail there by accident from a buddy, so it wasn't too fun. But that's pretty much it. I did change the trans fluid because it smelled super burnt from some of the stuff we were doing, including putting it on the two-step, which you will see in the video right now. So after we put it on the two-step, we started smelling something a little weird. We pulled the dipstick, it smelled burnt. That's when we started hearing the chatter. But we didn't really start hearing the chatter until we put the line to loop valve in, and we kind of think that's some of the issue. But like I said, we think it's normal. So the converter was also a little tight, so we decided when we changed the fluid, I didn't go to regular fluid. I actually went to some J20C low viscosity hydraulic fluid from a John Deere tractor, which they say will actually help loosen the converter up just a hair. So I just filled that up this morning. But yeah, that's about it, guys. So let's get started putting this drive shaft loop in, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. I'm basically going to weld it straight to the cross member and see what happens. So let's get started with that and we'll see how it plays out. So, I've got my giant ring thing here, and what I'm going to do is try to space it evenly around the drive shaft right there, and then just weld some brackets straight from the cross member here to that loop, which should work out really well and save me about $100 in trying to fab a bunch of stuff and everything like that. So I'm gonna try to find something I can stick in here to space it to make sure it stays even as I'm kind of welding it. So let me find something real quick. So I've got it pretty close using some magnets right here and one on the top. I'm gonna measure and verify. I think it's a hair less gap from here than to the top, which is not really a bad thing. It keeps it closer to the floor and everything. So I'm gonna take measuring tape. Kind of measure the distance, which is right at 7/8 of an inch. And it's right around an inch at the top. So that little bit won't matter to me. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure right here to the outside edge of this, which is right around 6. 6 and 6 1/4. Is that crooked? Might be a hair crooked. I'll probably tap it, try to make it straight, but there we go. Thought I made it straight, maybe I didn't. Yeah, so now it's straight. And I think that should be a pretty good drive shaft loop. I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, it's away from the exhaust. I'll put a bracket from here to here and weld it in. Put a bracket from here to here and weld it in. And I think it'll be okay. But it'll save me at least $100. And then trying to, like, there's nowhere to drill back here without pulling the carpet back and bolting it in, which isn't really an option on my car. I mean, it take forever to do. So I feel like if it's welded straight to the cross member, I can't go nowhere even if the drive shaft falls out. So I'm going to cut some small pieces of flat stock and try to see how it's going to fit in there. So let me do that and we'll see what happens. So I kind of got a new plan. I was gonna weld brackets from here to here and from here to here. And I kind of thought about it and I'm like, well, I could do that. And I was gonna have to cut a bunch of metal up to make it work. And then I found this small L channel. So now I'm gonna weld it straight from the cross member to right there. And that should be good enough to hold it. Now guys, before I start welding this, one major thing that I'm gonna do, and you all should do, is number one, have a fire extinguisher close. Make sure you're welding with actual gear on, because I have been caught on fire before. It's not enjoyable. I'm gonna try to wipe anything, fluids away from this area as good as I can. And the major thing you have to do, especially with a car like this, sitting on a Terminator and everything else, is disconnect your ECM. Do you absolutely have to? Possibly not. But if I don't, Steve over at Amped is probably gonna smack the shit out of me. Because that was the #1 thing he told me to do if I was to ever weld on this car. So before I get started with all this, I'm gonna disconnect the ECM and then I will start welding it in and then possibly painting it. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it ain't going nowhere. Ooh, I didn't think about getting those out. That could be fun. But it, there we go. It's in there tight. The whole cross member will basically have to come out for that to fall. It's centered in the drive shaft. It should hold pretty good. I am gonna make a small plate for this, weld it across the front, weld it around, but that's just more for aesthetics. So guys, that's about it. I mean, it's very simple. Didn't cost me nothing. It was all scrap metal laying around. It'll let me do a burnout now in the water box, because without it, I can't go in the water box. So that's it for today. Guys, like I said, get the subscribers up. We'll do more giveaways. So if you can, please help me out. I got a couple giveaways coming up that I've got planned already in my head. So as soon as we get this one over with, we'll start on the next one. So guys, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe. If you have any questions or anything, get with me and I'll try to help you out. Till next time, we'll see you later.